Fact and enforcement procedures under 29 USC 216(b) to the federal judge and Department of Justice. Liability. The liability of IRS and the DOL is governed by the Federal Tort Claims Act 28 USC Section 1346, B. 2672, or other application federal statutory authority. 28 U.S. Code 1346, United States as defendant. Subject to the provisions of Chapter 171 of this title, the District Courts, together with the United States District Court for the District of the Canal Zone and the District Court of the Virgin Islands, shall have exclusive jurisdiction of civil actions on claims against the United States, for money damages, accruing on and after January 1, 1945, for injury or loss of property, or personal injury or death caused by the negligent or wrongful act or omission of any employee of the government, while acting within the scope of his office or employment, under circumstances where the United States, if a private person, would be liable to the claimant in accordance with the law of the place where the act or omission occurred. 29 U.S. Code Section 216(b), liability for overtime work performed prior to July 20, 1949. No employer shall be subject to any liability or punishment under the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938, as amended 29 U.S.C. 201, in any action or proceeding commenced prior to or on or after January 24, 1950, on account of the failure of said employer to pay an employee compensation for any period of overtime work performed prior to July 20, 1949, if the compensation paid prior to July 20, 1949, for such work was at least equal to the compensation which would have been payable for such work. Had Section 7, D, 6, and 7, and Section 7, G, of the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938, as amended, 29 U.S.C. 207, D, 6, 7, G, been in effect at the time of such payment. 29 U.S. Code Section 211, Collection of Data, State and Local Agencies and Employees. With the consent and cooperation of state agencies charged with the administration of state labor laws, the Administrator and the Secretary of Labor may, for the purpose of carrying out their respective functions and duties under this chapter, utilize the services of state and local agencies and their employees and, notwithstanding any other provision of law, may reimburse such state and local agencies and their employees for services rendered for such purposes.